welcome back to Exterminate, a Doctor Who podcast which is part of SC Productions. And today we have joining us again is Phil from Who's He Podcast, who is also my dad.
Hello everybody.
Who has appeared in the last episode because he'll be here for all of the series reviews. So let's move into our review of Boom by Steven Moffat. Okay, so Boom, in my opinion, was a pretty good episode. It wasn't the best episode, but a YouTuber called Samuel Hugh says, this is their thumbnail, says Doctor Who's best standalone episode, Boom. On the other hand, The Independent says, which is like a news, I think.
Newspaper, yeah.
Doctor Who's Boom is a bit of damp squib, only saved by brilliant performances.
Oh,
so
right,
they
okay.
think it's not good, but this YouTuber thinks it's good. So what are your opinions? I think it was a pretty solid story.
Well, to be honest, it wasn't hard to improve on the first two episodes, if I'm honest, which I thought were pretty dire, to be fair. And this was a bit more like it, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, a bit more like...
Really? I mean, the Doctor didn't really... I say the Doctor didn't do a lot, but...
I kind of did.
Kind of did. He was standing still. I thought the pair of them... it's in Shooty now, isn't it? It's not Shooty Gatwa. Apparently he's been saying it wrong himself for all these years. His mum corrected him.
But his mum corrected him, but in every interview he's still saying Shooty because that's what people have already sort of adapted to.
I know.
So we're going to keep it to Shooty.
All right, okay, not on Shooty then.
For viewers' sake.
Okay, so Shooty Gatwa. I thought him and Millie Gibson were really, really good together. I thought it was really, really well done. Nice concept as well. Bit heavy-handed in places because it's very sort of. And Doctor has always been political anyway. I don't care what anybody says. Even going back to as far as the 1960s and 70s, Doctor Who has always been political, and this is no different. And yeah, I really liked it. I like the thing about AI, arms manufacturers, the sort of the way human life is disregarded through an algorithm, which I think was really quite interesting, and I really liked it actually.
Yeah, people were making fun of that scene where Ruby gets shot and she falls down the thing.
What people making fun of it?
Because people saying it's there was a video called Doctor Who Poop where they said that she was rolling down the hill, and at the end of the video, because they edit it, the Doctor starts laughing.
Oh right, okay.
But it's because it's so awkwardly done. Because she just starts.
No, it's not. I don't think it's awkwardly done.
Because someone said if you pause at the right moment, you're able to see the blurred out image of the stunt double's face.
Oh
you can actually
right,
find
okay.
the stunt double's face.
Oh well, you
out.
can't have the actual actor rolling down a hill like that, really, can you? But no, I thought it looked really good. I thought it was excellent. Actually.
By the way, did you viewers, if you haven't seen this, did you think it was a real quarry?
It was in a studio.
Yes, okay. We have established that it was in a studio and it was not in a real quarry, but some of it was filmed in a outside. Some of it was from inside. I think.
No, I think it was.
It was quite cleverly shot, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I think it was all internal. I think if it had been filmed outside, I think there's always someone lurking with an iPhone to snap a few photos.
Probably why we didn't know much about Boom, because I suppose I didn't really expect it to be like this, because I think a lot of people thought it was going to be quite a Ruby heavy story.
I think everyone did actually, because I think it was going to be a bit of like a Doctor Light kind of episode.
But I don't think because this is quite a Doctor heavy, and the next one's Ruby Light, which was Ruby heavy, which I think would kind of be obvious that this episode is Doctor heavy to balance it out.
Maybe. I think compared to the last two episodes we had, which were silly and fun, and I think that's the thing about Doctor Who, you can have silly stuff one week and serious stuff the next, and this is certainly a lot more serious than we thought we had last week, wasn't it? So, but again, you couldn't have silly every week, you couldn't have serious every week, so I think that's why it's good that it sort of mixes the.
But really, the first two episodes were both quite silly, but they were aired on the same week, so technically that was 1 week they were aired, so technically it counts as, so they can both be silly because they were aired on 1 week.
Well, I still of the opinion that Devil's Call wasn't meant to be episode 2.
No.
I still think it's meant to be a
Maybe
bit later in the
like
in the run.
6th episode.
Yeah, it's just because it said that they've been travelling a long time together.
Because it's May now, but the episode 2 set in June, so that makes me think that would have been that episode would have aired maybe after like 73 yards or
Maybe.
Bubble,
maybe
somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I think it feels wrong to have it there.
No, I don't know. It does seem a bit. Some of the lines of dialogue seem to suggest they've been travelling a lot longer than what we've seen. So I think I think they changed the episode order just so it could fit with Eurovision night, which is fair enough. But anyway, getting back to Boom. I like the idea. I like the idea, sort of like the Doctor saying that, or Ruby asked why is the landmine got lights on, because it looks good in the presentation. You know, death by salesman, which I thought was interesting. That's true. Actually, people are easily dazzled by a few bright lights and colourful things, shiny things. You know, so why should weapons be any different, really? Yeah.
So I think a main part of the story was because Russell Davies has a lot of political, but yet he has a lot of like love in stories. Like a lot of like relationship.
Yeah, well, this was the same thing again, because you had the whole sort of like the father daughter thing,
and Mundy and other soldier, whatever his name was.
Oh, I've forgotten his name. Canto,
because
it was short for Canterbury, I think actually. But then you also had like the Doctor, and I think there's something in this actually, because we had mentions of the Doctor's family quite a bit so far. We've had mention of Susan, his granddaughter, and in this episode, he's saying dad to dad.
So about his daughter, probably daughter, or
well,
maybe,
we don't know.
Or maybe
we don't know, do we?
Jenny, but maybe a secret son.
We don't know.
We never know.
It could be anything, Scott. It could be absolutely anything.
It could even be an animal. It's Doctor Who. It could be a fox. He said he stayed with, was it weasels or beavers and the caretaker or something?
Oh, I don't remember
something
that.
Like that. He could even have a beaver as a child. You know.
I've only watched the caretaker once, so I don't know. So I don't know. Russell T Davies. I know Steven Moffat wrote this one, but Russell T Davies doesn't. Even Steven Moffat as well, actually, when he was the showrunner, they don't drop these things in for no reason. I think it is heading somewhere. This I really do. So
what I've realised is, to me, I feel like the Steven Moffat stories have actually been stronger than the Russell T Davies ones in some ways.
Well, the things that I found with Steven Moffat, I think he's when he was writing for Russell T Davies, when Russell T Davies was the showrunner first time around, everyone said that Steven Moffat's scripts were the best ones, the ones they most looked forward to. But I think when Steven Moffat became the showrunner, it became too bogged down with his own, what he perceived to be his own cleverness all the time, and trying to be, just trying to be too clever, and it come across as smug to me, to be honest. I've never really.
The plots were too sort of
convoluted and I mean things like.
Series 5 didn't have that much of a difficult.
Well, no, it did. It did. It had a lot of that, but it made sense. But then Series 6 comes Matt Smith's second season, which I thought was an absolute mess, because it was more about River Song than the Doctor. And I like the character River Song, but for me, that series ruined the character.
Series 7?
No, Series 6.
Was Series 7? What do you think? What did you think it was still difficult to?
Well, no, because the whole Doctor's thing with River Song was kind of finished in Series 6, and I was over River Song at that point. And again, because Steven Moffat he tried to be too clever with the character, so I think he can flip flop. But this particular story, Boom, I thought he was excellent, actually.
So what do you think about Radha Sethi? I mean, people were saying because she
that was a surprise, wasn't it? Radha Sethi.
I think it's because I liked her so much that I might have asked her to come on audition, and that's probably how she might have gotten the role. Or she just saw it come up and was like, I like Doctor Who, I want to come back and say that.
Well, no,
she said she enjoyed working on Doctor Who, but I think we're in a real treat for season 2, because she was acting her heart out in the story.
Who's to say that she's not going to appear in this season again?
I mean,
we don't know, do we?
I don't probably think she will. Otherwise, it will set up a mystery for series 2 around her character.
Well, no, I hope they don't. I hope they don't do this thing about like another Clara.
Maybe she'll be like maybe this new companion will be a version that came before her. That's like her ancestor.
And I thought she was really good, actually.
I don't think it's likely though that the same character will be the next companion.
Oh, we'll see.
It's quite unlikely.
What about the people when they get killed by the ambulance? Another Susan twist. Let's just see if she appears in next week's episode. I bet she does.
I think she has, because there's been images released of her. I think she is actually the villain of 73 Yards that's in the background.
Yeah.
I believe she is.
But anyway, we haven't spoken much about Boom. We keep talking about other episodes and Susan Twist, haven't we?
Yeah, so
yeah.
The thing about the dead bodies and the cylinders, that was
I was going to say, talk about that.
That
was a bit
odd.
dark, wasn't it?
Yeah, a bit odd and a bit dark. It's a very strange concept.
Turned me into a great big meat popsicle.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, it was a bit
And
weird.
then Ruby getting shot because Kanto thought that she was going to shoot Monday.
That came out. I thought that was well done. That came out of nowhere. That as well. Well, no, I wasn't expecting that. To be, I thought that was really well done.
That was quite interesting because Kanto went to find Monday, but Ruby was going to shoot Monday because Monday asked.
Yeah,
Ruby.
to distract the ambulance.
Kanto thought it was the other way around, that Ruby was going to shoot her on automatically. So she got shot 2 times and fell.
Yeah, that was more than that actually.
She actually did die, and then she came back to life. Did she not die?
No,
or
she
was
didn't
she
die.
literally
No,
a second away from dying?
Yeah, she was dying, wasn't she?
I mean, she looked dead in some ways.
Yeah.
Sort of a trick.
Yeah, but no, I liked it. I think everyone's saying it's taken that little very quick scene from Genesis of the Daleks when the Fourth Doctor treads on the landmine and Harry Sullivan saves him.
I made it into a 45-minute
I made it into a
episode.
45-minute episode. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, it's good. I enjoyed it. It's not perfect. I'm not entirely convinced of the whole reason for them fighting. It was they were basically fighting their own weapons. Why someone hadn't twigged that 6 months later, I don't know.
No.
So what was it? What they called the Castrians or something? So they didn't exist, and they're saying, they live in the mud or they live in the fog. Nobody really knows. And
who are they killing then?
Well, that's the bit I couldn't quite sort of get my head round. Who, obviously, who fired the first shot against their own people?
Oh, but they were placing the landmines thinking they were going to kill the Castarians, but they were killing themselves off with the landmines.
Yeah, but the thing was, though, they had the whole thing about the acceptable casualty rate. So you had the ambulances that sort of making that they talk about the algorithm saying that they decided what was an acceptable casualty or not. So like John Cantor, he's was it Vanta or Cantor? Vanta, wasn't it?
Who are you talking about now?
John Vanta, Splice's dad. It's Vanta, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
I can't
Just say
remember.
John.
John, whatever. Splice's dad. He only had temporary blindness, but as far as the algorithm was concerned, it was taking too long to recover, so it just
Killed
him. Yeah.
But they were fighting no one, so they didn't actually have
But that's
to
the
kill
thing.
him.
How did people get injured like that? They weren't all standing on landmines. That's the bit I can't.
That makes no sense.
No, it doesn't.
Stephen Moffat, comment down below.
Yeah.
You probably won't be watching.
I understand the thing that it was a whole thing just to keep like the arms dealers going. But I couldn't. For me, the whole thing about why they were fighting nothing didn't make a lot of sense.
Unless he fell over and injured himself and like really badly, maybe he fell down.
Well, no, that would have flat. You could see it was it would have been an explosion. But what were they shooting at? That was the thing. If they can't see anything, what were they shooting at?
Maybe.
That's what I meant. I can't get my head around that. I don't. For me, that bit didn't quite.
Maybe the reason he was injured is that his friend checked on the landmine. They were too close, and he was too close to the explosion. And he got injured but didn't die.
Don't know.
Maybe like something like that.
Yeah, don't know.
Because it explodes the landmine, doesn't it?
Well, no, they don't explode. No, it's kind of does, but not in that. You saw that one guy get killed, didn't we, on the landmine at the beginning?
Maybe he was.
And he got vaporised more than anything else.
Maybe he was standing too close because the doctor tried to tell Ruby to stand back because it would have gotten her too. Maybe that's what happened, but he managed to survive.
Well, that's the thing.
He got back in time or something.
I don't know. I think that's the thing. Because what we saw wasn't really an explosion, was it? And over this whole thing about the doctor, because he wasn't human, it would rip a hole in the planet because he was a space-time event, as it were. So. Yeah, I don't know. There's only bit that didn't sort of really stack up for me.
Moving off of Boom because it's confusing me. What did you think of the next time trailer for 73 Yards? Quickly in 1 minute.
Oh, we'll do less than 1 minute. A bit of folk horror. That
Yes.
looks good. Looks a bit Blair Witch or Wicker Man
Bit
in there. So it's horror next week, I think.
horror.
Yeah, trapped in a pub as well.
Your
That doesn't
cup
sound
of
like
tea.
horror to me, actually. Trapped in a pub. That sounds like
It sounds like horror.
my ideal
But
night
the
in.
people around them around Ruby seem to be kind of creepy. Like they're all
Well,
sort of
superstitious, aren't they? It's a bit
Mad Jack and all of that. And
yeah, it's a little bit Slaughtered Lamb from Miracle Wolf in London. A little bit of that as well.
I mean, we're
So,
guessing one of
looks
those
good.
different shots of Ruby because Ruby is wearing the same coat that she was wearing in the pub in like a shot of her on the phone sitting on like sitting
right.
somewhere.
Well,
so
well-
I think that's part of the same story with all those different shots, and she's still looking for the doctor and all of those things,
could
something
be.
like that.
Probably.
Maybe.
Well, we'll find out. We'll
Maybe.
find out next
We'll
week,
find out.
won't we? We'll find out next week. So good.
Okay.
Okay. Are we not rating this then, Boom?
Oh yes, rate it.
Go
Out
on
of
then.
10.
What do you rate out of 10 then?
Maybe 7.5, 8.
7.5, 8. I'll give it 8 out of 10 because I thought it was really enjoyable and much better than last week's.
And I thought the script was good. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to say. Okay, so thank you so much for watching or listening if you were just doing something in the background to today's podcast. So we'll see you next week for 73 yards. Good. Bye.
Bye bye.